Welcome into Fantasy Football Keys to the Crown, presented by Crown Royal. I'm Erin Summers, welcomed by NFL Network guru Marcas Grant. Marcas, we are steadily approaching playoffs for everybody playing fantasy football. How do you change your approach as you're getting towards the end of your regular season?
Well, now you start looking at guys whose playoff schedules are going to be favorable. You're kind of looking toward the long term. Now, that is, for instance, if you are a team that looks like you're pretty assured of making the playoffs, now you do want to start planning for the long term. Look at guys' schedules down the stretch. See who has favorable schedules. See who doesn't. You want to start acquiring guys that look like they have a good path to production through the fantasy playoffs.
You alluded to some scenarios there. Any players that we should be looking at as sleepers this week?
Well, I definitely like a guy like Terrace Marshall, and kind of liked him the last couple of weeks, but he's getting more and more opportunity there in Carolina. Since the trades of Christian McCaffrey and Robbie Anderson, he's getting on the field more and getting a lot more work there. So he's definitely a guy that I like this week. I'd also keep an eye out on Jeff Wilson Jr., who just got traded from San Francisco to Miami. Got a lot of work last week for the Dolphins, and they're a team that is pretty effective running the football. So he and Raheem Mostert make a nice 1-2 punch right there. And I would say this week, keep an eye out on Matthew Stafford. And I know it's been a rough go for Stafford so far this season, but the Cardinals defense has been very forgiving. So if there's ever a week for Stafford to maybe turn things around, it could be in week 10.
Looking at the Saints' next matchup, they are in Pittsburgh for the Sunday game. Anybody that we should be definitely starting, sitting, or somebody we should be looking at to maybe elevate into our active roster?
Well, I think you're starting the same guys you normally are for the Saints. That means Alvin Kamara. That means Chris Olave. Those guys for sure. Juwan Johnson has been a nice sleeper tight end when the matchup is right. And this could be another good situation for him. I would say you can start the Saints defense as well, just because Kenny Pickett has been a nice shot in the arm for the Steelers, but still is prone to turning the football over, still will take some sacks. So that's what you want out of your fantasy defense. On the Pittsburgh side of things, it's been a rough go for Najee Harris. And if you can get away from him at all, I would really consider doing that. I still like George Pickens, the rookie wide receiver there, who's having a very good season. And Deontay Johnson is the number one target in that offense, so it's hard to get away from him. But nobody that I think is going to have a huge week. I think you'll just get a collection of kind of passable weeks from a lot of these guys in this game.
Thank you so much, Marcus, for all of the input. We look forward to talking to you again next week and for another slate of games this upcoming Sunday. For Marcas Grant, I'm Erin Summers. This has been Fantasy Football Keys to the Crown.